Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahshua Bashem, Harakakadash, double unto the apostles and elders of the millstone of the real world, Shalom to the brothers of the work, centering truth. Um, yeah, got this article on the Washington Post. It's basically going into how, for the UN link up in the States, they got the max mandate in effect. And it's essentially just like putting that vibration. And that's the thing with this whole pandemic situation. It's been a global thing. It's been affecting essentially everyone all around the world. When the lockdown went down, that shit went down over everyone. You might have had a few people that were like doing their own thing for a bit, but then it's like everyone was getting down. Even like fucking North Korea and whatnot. Them men are just completely out there. Iran, men had like fucking what'd you call it? Like them so-called terrorist groups saying like, okay, yeah, we ain't gonna do, we're gonna chill because this is such a dangerous situation, which kind of hilarious, but yeah, this whole vibration has been pushed out. It's been essentially pushed onto a global scale by the elite and all the different governments. They all came in the same vibration, same energy, and aided. So this is what, as world leaders gather in New York for the UN General Assembly, a max mandate creates confusion and dissent. So the debate unfolding around the world over the vaccine mandates is playing out on a small scale at the United Nations headquarters ahead of a meeting of dozens of world leaders in New York next week. New York City officials have requested that heads of states and many diplomats traveling with them show proof they're fully vaccinated before entering the UN hall for the annual opening of the General Assembly. Yeah, so it's basically pushing that vibration from the states over to everyone. So even the places where, the leaders meant to be talking shit, it's like if you want to step into, the halls of power, so to speak, where these guys link up, then you got to get down with that. And it's really how all these agendas are going to be pushed out. It's going to come from the top down. And hey, people are gonna are gonna get down with it, just like now, where it's like you go any country, it's like they started pushing out the max. Most people are jumping on it, man, and it's just like, yeah, it's just completely not expected. They're taking it like here in the UK, what is it? Is it measles, mumps, and rubella? I think it is MMR. Yeah, like MMR, BCG, different maxes that they just push out where it's been normalized, and then sliding it in with that to where and that's how the people are essentially displaying that they're at peace with just being down with whatever is pushed out. So this is what the request got the backing of General Assembly's President Maldivian Foreign Minister Abdullah Shahid. Maldivian? Okay. Maldives. That would be the Maldives, yeah, okay. So, in a statement released on Wednesday, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio and International Affairs Commissioner Penny Abeyewardena thanked UN diplomats for working with them on the issue, calling them true New Yorkers for helping the city recover. But not all those diplomats profess the same camaraderie. In a letter to colleagues released on Wednesday, Russian UN Ambassador Vasily Nebenzia called the requirements a clearly discriminatory measure, and they said they were in violation of the UN Charter. Kind of funny. But that's because you know you got that contention between you know, the U.S. and Russia. It says the Russian opposition to the max requirement promoted harsh words from de Blasio on Thursday, with the New York mayor telling reporters that if the Russian ambassador is against it, I'm for it, and suggesting that the Russians had invalidated themselves by trying to disrupt U.S. elections. The Russian mission to the United Nations did not respond to a request for comment. The news comes amid broader tensions. Experiments with vaccine mandates in Europe, the US, and everywhere else have created friction as variants spread, and as countries struggle to balance public health restrictions with individual liberties. And yeah, that's why you had when what's his name? When Joe Biden introduced the mandate in the US, the one for federal workers, and what was it as well? And workplaces with like over 100 people. He said it's not about liberty, it's not about freedom, it's about you know, protection, safety. And that's, you know, it's been done in the name of that, but you know where these things are gonna go. It's not gonna let up. It's gonna be something that continues, you know, to roll down the hill, so to speak, and it's, you know, it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up, and people are just gonna treat it like it's you know, normal, and then it slides into the mark, man. Slides into that MLTB, that implantable chip that goes under the skin. So yeah. The news, okay, yeah, balance with, anyway, so New York has started requiring proof of at least one shot to allow people into restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, and other indoor venues. But for foreign diplomats, there is a further complication. Countries administer different maxes, including ones that have not been granted emergency use authorization in the US. Yeah, so, you know, it's going to go down into more. But that's kind of like the main point. It's that same energy is being, you know, where that control is being executed. It's being, you know, pushed out internationally, and this really is a you know, a global push, and you're gonna have you know, for the most part, everyone's gonna be working in tandem to, you know, to push this vibration out. Everyone's gonna be yeah, everyone's gonna be you know, in accord. They're all gonna be working together. Because why? This is a matter of the elites who have you know, they have the sway. They have ultimate control over what gets pushed out here, and they're looking to bring about their end game, man. The NWO. So yeah, Ezekiel 28:2, it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Yeah, so it's essentially Esau trying to establish himself as a power on the earth, and that's really what all these you know, all these different plans that he's putting together, all this work and effort he's putting in, he's doing it in the means of, okay, he's basically trying to execute his will, you know, as a God on earth, and have people accept him as such. But what? It's only gonna go so far. But that's why it's you know, everything that happens, you know, happens in the States. It's happening all over, and that's how it's gonna continue to be, man. Esau's is you know, he's trying to establish himself, and it's gonna establish himself to a certain extent. But then what? Just like in Job, it says when he's about to feed his belly, the Lord's gonna, you know, pour the wrath of his fury upon him. And Yeah, that's why it's like all these in it's funny because in England, well in Scotland first, they yeah in Scotland first they what do you call it um they introduced Max passports. Then in England they said they scrapped it, but then what Wales introduced it as well. So it's just like it's just a matter of time. These things are gonna spread. It's gonna become as normal as you know to the people in the world. Anyways, like eating a slice of bread, they're just gonna treat it like that. It's just how it has to be, and that's how it's gonna come with a mark as well. People are just gonna look at it like, oh well, it's just okay for safety. It's just for this, just for that. I'm gonna eat it, man. But yeah, I'll leave you there. Shalom. Yabashim Shabashim Shalom.